What up, Screen Fiends? I'm GB, and you're tuned in to Headz TV, where we like to discuss all the wonderful things appearing on your movie and your TV screens. In this episode, we're going to do another discussion about Split and Unbreakable. I just did another video about the connection between them. If you don't know, spoiler alert, Split and Unbreakable, both M. Night Shyamalan films. Actually are not only in the same universe, but Split is actually like a semi-sequel to Unbreakable. Go watch that video. It is a little scatterbrained. One of my friends brought that to my attention, that the video is a little scatterbrainy, and I get like that sometimes because I love this stuff, and I have a bad habit of not writing things down. I'm trying to get better at that. So when I'm talking about these things, I'm jumping around from point to point, and sometimes I lose myself in the conversation. I do apologize for that. Those of you who continue to watch, thank you for sticking with me. I am working on getting better. So with that being said, this video is about just the powers and how the people in this universe have powers, why they have powers, how they obtain powers, and which characters that we know of so far actually have some sort of power. Okay, so my friend had brought up to me that I didn't really touch on that in the video about the connections. Like I said, I was so scatterbrained and I was trying to not make it too long. So, the characters that are obviously have powers in this world are Bruce Willis's character, David Dunn, from Unbreakable, and Kevin Crumb, James McAvoy's character from Split. Now, their powers are different, but kind of similar when you really break it down. So Bruce Willis is incredibly strong and he's super tough, like think Luke Cage, unbreakable skin, he can't really be hurt. There's two instances in his life where he gets into a really bad situation and he walks away unscathed. The first is a car accident when he's in college, where he walks away fine, and I believe it's his wife, not at the time, but it's his wife who gets injured in that car accident, but he walks away fine and throws away his football career to not, I guess, blow up his secret. I don't know. That part of it was never really made 100% clear, but I haven't seen these movies a million times. I've only seen them a couple of times. Okay, so that's David Dunn. And then you have Kevin Crumb, who has these multiple personalities who don't really have any powers other than being able to get him out and get him through of these situations he comes across in his life. That's why he gets the multiple personality disorder, is to cope with his life and the way it's gone, with his father dying and his mother abusing him, and who knows what other traumatic things happened along the way. But his real power comes into his last personality, the 25th or 24th personality, the Beast, who has many characteristics of the animals that are at the zoo that Kevin works at. Like, for instance, it can like climb on walls and shit, like he can climb on walls and shit like a lizard. His skin is incredibly tough, like a rhino. He eats raw meat like a jungle cat. There's other things too in there. Now, why do those are the only two guys that clearly have powers. The other person would be Mr. Glass, who doesn't really have a power. He's got a crazy disability where his bones break like glass. It's yet to be said if he's incredibly smart. Like super smart, like superpower smart. He's definitely intelligent human being, but we don't know if his intelligence goes beyond that. To me, I can chalk up his intelligence and his villainous to being to his trying to find meaning for his life. Where if he's this guy that breaks like glass, there's got to be a reason for him to not have died at birth, and he comes. What his final conclusion is his reason is to be a villain, is to find these other people who are opposite him, and I guess take them out or get them to do his bidding. We don't really know because the movie kind of ends, at that point. So I'm excited to see where that goes. I'm going to do another video after this one about where I see the franchise maybe going next. Okay, so those are the three characters that either have powers or possibly could have powers. Nobody else that we've been introduced to can lead us to believe this. Now, how do these people have powers? Now that I got that long-winded shit out of the way, right? How can we believe these people have powers? Well, the doctor in Split explains it. Well, part of it anyway. As it seems, David Dunn was possibly born with this gift, as he says he never remembers getting sick or anything. He kind of... All right, I'm going to put him into this in a minute. Hold on. Scatterbrained again. The doctor. She says that sometimes people go through such traumatic things in life that their brain finds a way to cope. And that could either mean by pumping more adrenaline so that a mother can lift a car off of a child underneath, or, giving you heightened reflexes or speed to push someone out of the way of a vehicle, things like this. And these are actually real occurrences in life. You can look this shit up, where people have been known to do supernatural things under super traumatic or stressful or dangerous situations. Not to the extreme that these movies play it, but they do mention stuff that happens in real life. So you can take it by saying, well, that's Kevin Crumb. How he got his powers was his brain was finding a way for him to cope with his trauma, and in doing that, it gave him the ability to obtain parts of his brain that normal people can't reach, that give him these superhuman abilities. Now, seeing as how Mr. Glass was born broken, that can't be attributed to him. But maybe living the life of that trauma, making him so weak and go through so many traumatic things and injuries and stuff. He even says how many bones he's broken and stuff. I forgot, but it's like a crazy number. And when they show, his childhood briefly, you can see that he's not a normal kid. He doesn't fit in with the other kids. So living this life maybe gave him the supernatural ability of just being super smart, super crafty. But like I said, there's no evidence of that. But now David Dunn doesn't seem... Alright, it seems that he was born with that ability. Just like Mr. Glass was born all fucked up and broken, David was born unbreakable and strong. And I really think that that's where they're going with it. And maybe he was just born with the ability to tap into this part of his brain to give him these abilities. Because, the human only uses some shit like 10% of their brain, something like that. And, the rest of it is all potential. There's a bunch of movies that touch on that type of subject. Like Limitless. Watch that. There's other movies. There's tons of them. I'm not going to go through all of them right now. That's not what this video is about. All right. But you can also lend yourself to say, well, then maybe he just doesn't remember getting sick as a kid. And when he was in that car accident, that was it was the drowning. Yes. See, this is why I need to write shit down, because I know I thought about that before. When he was a kid, he almost drowned, and that's what untapped this ability in his brain, was that near-death experience. And then he gets in the car accident in college. Right, so it all falls under what the doctor says. When people go through traumatic things in life, sometimes they're given the ability to tap into their brain, which gives them special abilities. And this explains David Dunn, the drowning, which led to the car crash, which he walked away unscathed, never really being sick, finding out that he's super strong and all that shit. And even finding that he has the ability to sense bad people, to sense evil, to sense wrongdoing. But he doesn't really get that ability until he starts realizing that he is some sort of super being and he can be a hero. So Sam Jackson actually not only brings out into light that he's unbreakable, but he kind of opens the door in his brain to this new power where he can sense what's bad things that are going to happen, which comes useful later in the movie Unbreakable. Go check it out if you haven't seen it, or you haven't seen it in a while. It's such a great movie, and it definitely holds up over time. So there you have it. The doctor explains it. People go through traumatic events, and their brain, they're able to access part of their brain that we others can't access, which lend them to certain abilities and talents that we cannot obtain. So this explains Kevin Crumb, this explains David Dunn, and where they got their powers and how they're going to clash. All right, if you like this video, if it helped you out, if it helped you understand it any better, hit me up down below. If there's anything else you want me to explain about the Split, Unbreakable connection, definitely let me know. I'll be more than happy to do a video for you on that. And I got another video coming up about where I can see the franchise going on the future, or at least the next movie, or maybe two. All right, so check those out. Check out my other videos. You know, I'm trying to get better and better every day. Thanks for tuning in. And that's it for this video, and I will see you next time.